Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Josh, and this is your stimulus check update for the next stimulus package for Monday, January 11th. I hope everyone is off to a good and safe start to their Monday so far, and that you all have a wonderful week ahead. In this video, I'll be discussing updates in regards to the current relief package and the third stimulus check. I'll also be discussing the $2,000 direct payments, what lawmakers are saying about them now, and then I'll be wrapping up this video by answering some of the comments and questions that I received in my previous video. But first, if you wouldn't mind real quickly liking this video, give me a big thumbs up. It really just helps with the YouTube algorithm in terms of pushing this video out to other viewers like you, and hopefully helping other people like you as well. Okay, so with Joe Biden pledging to push Congress for another relief package, calling the most recent one a down payment, all eyes will be on our lawmakers in Congress to see whether or not they can get one done. Recently, the $2,000 third direct payment has been a hot issue where it's been heavily debated on in Congress. Obviously, the American people are for it, and that's why Democrats campaign heavily on them in the Senate runoffs in Georgia. Joe Biden even said, if you vote for Raphael Warnock and Jon Ossoff, you'll receive the $2,000 checks. So that was quite the promise there. So while it has been an issue that Democrats have been on board with, $2,000 direct payments to almost everyone who received the last one, including adult dependents, Republicans have opposed that idea, declaring they should be more targeted. We also have a key Democrat in the Senate, probably the most conservative Democrat in Joe Manchin, opposing the checks as well, which, of course, he's taking a lot of heat for. So, because of this, Jake Tapper made Manchin answer to the American people on CNN's State of the Union on whether or not he supported the $2,000 direct payments. Watch.
Okay, so you've given some mixed messages on whether you support sending $2,000 checks to Americans who earn $75,000 or less. Biden, Pelosi, Schumer, as well as your new Senate colleagues, Ossoff and Warnock, all support sending these larger checks. Are you on board, yes or no?
Jake, that's not a yes or no question. I'm on board by helping people that need help, people that really can't make it, people that don't have a job, they can't put food on their table. I'm in total support of helping them. Sending checks to people that basically already have a check and aren't going to be able to spend that or are not going to spend it, usually are putting it in their savings account right now. That's not who we are. That we have done an awful lot of that. It's time now to target where the money goes. Make sure the people in need. I have people in West Virginia that can't go back to work because there's not a job to go to. I have businesses that can't open up. Don't you think we should be helping them first?
So basically, we see Manchin say that he is, indeed, fully on board for sending more money to people who really need it. People who really can't make it, such as those who don't have a job and can't put food on the table. However, just like McConnell and other Republicans say, there are some other people who are in better shape financially and don't really need this money. In Manchin's eyes, sending this money to people who are fine off financially and still have their jobs probably shouldn't be receiving this money. That's why, in Manchin and McConnell's opinions, this money should be targeted. After that, Manchin lets us know what he'd rather see trillions of dollars spent on instead of direct payments. Watch.
And you know, Jake, we're talking about everything else. Why can't we just do something that basically puts people back to work? Infrastructure. If you want to spend $2 or $3 trillion, invest it in infrastructure. FDR did it in '32, and basically we saw WPA and CCC. I've played ball and gone to schools to where that was built back in the 30s.
Okay.
There's a lot we can do to put people back to work.
So Manchin believes that we should be investing heavily into infrastructure, and we should be focusing on creating jobs and putting people back to work, rather than sending $2,000 checks in a shotgun approach. In a previous statement, he also said we should be focusing on getting Americans vaccinated and back to work, rather than simply sending this money out to everyone as well. Finally, to wrap up the interview on that topic, Manchin was asked point blank whether or not he'd support $2,000 checks. So then, as you'll see, Tapper and Manchin sort of talked over each other in a fight for words, but you'll get the idea. Watch.
Want to do
well, if they're targeted, no. If they're targeted, if they're targeted, I am all for targeting money.
But not just anybody who makes under $75,000.
Not carte blanche across the board.
So Manchin says here he's all for targeted. If these checks are targeted to a lower income group of people, lower than $75,000 per year, he's all for it. Now, he doesn't mention a specific amount of income, and I assume he's probably going to look into it, but it's tough saying what that amount will be. One thing he'll also have to keep in mind is depending on where you live in the country, cost of living is going to be a lot different. If they make the income cap $40,000 per year, that amount doesn't go nearly as far in, say, California as it does in Oklahoma. So that's just going to be another hurdle they'll need to get over, determining the income cap on these checks. Other than the next round of direct payments, other issues such as aid for state and local, as well as liability protections for businesses will be heavily debated on. Since this is going to be another $1 trillion package and not a standalone bill, it's possible we had the third round of checks held up over these other issues, even if they do agree on the income level. Of course, most of the other issues will be bipartisan as well, such as aid for vaccines, schools, hospitals, unemployment, and even small businesses, but it's hard saying whether or not Democrats and Republicans will get their way on key issues. For Democrats, during the last round, a key thing they were fighting for was aid for state and local government. Republicans fought back against that, believing that if we did give money to state and local, there should be limitations on how it could be used, as they felt this could be bailout money for poorly run states. Mitch McConnell and other Republicans, on the other hand, are seeking for business owners, hospitals, and schools to have some type of long-term liability shield from lawsuits that have to do with this virus. McConnell would like for business owners to have the peace of mind that when they open back up again, they can't be sued by customers or their employees in relation to the virus, as long as they're acting in good faith. This is something that McConnell is seeking to have for 5 years, dating back to December of 2019, which is something that most Democrats oppose. So we'll have to wait and see how long the two sides fight it out over those two issues. In the end, we simply can't afford to have Democrats and Republicans fight over this next bill for the next 9 months like they did in the last one. If we want our economy to recover as quickly as possible, it's vital they get this aid out sooner rather than later. With that said, all we can continue to do is hang in there, stay strong, and hope for the best. Okay, so at this point in time, I'm going to move right along to answering some of the comments and questions that I received in my previous video. And if you do have any other comments or questions for me, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below. I do try to answer as many of the comments and questions as I possibly can, but for those comments and questions I'm not able to respond to, I do try to pick some of the more popular ones to answer in the next video in video form. Okay, so without further ado, let me go ahead and jump into the first comment of today's video, which is from Julia. Julia says, what happens if we don't get our second stimulus check because it was put into a closed account? Will I be mailed a paper check to my address? Okay, thank you so much for your question, Julia. And in the case that you change bank accounts since you received your first direct payment, what will happen is when the IRS sends the payment to that account, the bank will reject it. When the bank rejects it, in the first round of direct payments, the IRS would reprocess your payment and send you a check in the mail instead. However, this time around, the IRS will not be mailing us the checks. Instead, they request that we claim a $600 credit on the tax returns that we filed this year in order to receive this money. Okay, moving along to the next question of today's video, which is from Evil American. Evil American says, will the same people who got a check last time get one this time, or will it be fewer people? Okay, thank you so much for your question, and as far as the next stimulus check goes, it's possible for either to happen. On one hand, there are talks of dependents, even those over the age of 17, to be eligible to receive the $2,000. On the other hand, there are some lawmakers, such as Joe Manchin and Mitch McConnell, who feel that these payments should be more targeted, so we could see people only with lower incomes receiving this money. In the end, it's tough saying what they'll decide to do, but I'll definitely make sure to keep you updated one way or another. Alright, moving along to the next question of today's video, which is from Willine. Willine says, are people on SSI and SSDI going to receive the third check? Okay, thank you so much for your question, and this one sort of branches off of her last question. As mentioned in my previous answer, more than likely, the same people who received the first and second direct payments will also be receiving the third payment as well. The only question is, what level of income they'll set the cap at. However, I can say with almost certainty that those on Social Security benefits will be eligible for this next relief payment, unless possibly they're being claimed as a dependent. Since adult dependents have been left out in the first two rounds, it's possible they'll be left out this time around as well. But we'll just have to wait and see. Okay, moving along to the next question of today's video, which is from Natalina. Natalina says, morning Josh, thanks for all of your help. Today is a new day. Hopefully we can all get back on our feet and live life as we should. Blessings to you and all in your channel. Josh, can you please give us a proper number to the IRS? Thanks. Okay, thank you so much for your question, and I really appreciate your kind words. If you're looking to reach out to the IRS in regards to your direct payment, the best number you can reach them at would be 1-800-919-9835, and the only recommendation that I would have for you is to call just a little bit earlier in the day just to avoid those longer hold times. However, one thing I will say is that more than likely you won't be able to learn any more information from an IRS agent than what you can already find through the payment portal. The payment portal, which can be located on the IRS website, will be your #1 resource in finding out exactly when you should expect to receive your payment. So, as the IRS has already mentioned, I would first check the payment portal, and if you have any additional questions after that, give them a call. Also, as always, if you have any questions, you can ask in the comment section below, and I'll do the best that I can in order to help. Alright, so on that note, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this video. If you did enjoy the content in this video and you'd like to see more videos like it, please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. It is completely free to do so, and it's a great support to me. Also, if you'd like to receive 4 free stocks from Webull, with 2 of them valued all the way up to $1,600 each, or 1 free stock from Robinhood just for signing up, please feel free to claim those free stocks by clicking the link in the description box below. And finally, if you join Rakuten with my referral link in the description box below and spend at least $20, Rakuten will give you $20 cash back. This means you can buy an item through Rakuten with one of their referral links, such as Nike, for $20, which would be right around $22 after tax, and Rakuten will give you $20 just for making that purchase. This is just an incredible deal that I would love for everyone to take advantage of. Okay, so until next time, I'll see you guys, and I hope you have a great day today.